We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Chai Together. I am your host and founder, Pratibha Day. You are tuning in for your cup of chai, courage, hope, and imagination. We use courage to showcase journeys on this channel. We use hope to overcome and imagination to resonate and understand the stories which are shared on this platform. With that being said, I would like to respectfully welcome Mr. Eric Patrick Thomas, a.k.a. Mr. Inspire. And I've really been looking forward to this. How do you feel, Eric?
I feel amazing. I've been going all day. It's beautiful, you know?
Yeah.
It's great to be here. We did it. We are
Yeah.
here.
We
We're
finally
here
did it.
live. We're live, right?
Yeah. And it's 2021. So I'm excited. So I had a chance to speak with Eric one-on-one last week, and I can truly say he inspired me in the short conversation we had. And I truly, truly respect him, and it inspires me to give more to Chai Together and do more in my own dreams, just from hearing the dreams that he has and the big vision that he has, and that regardless of any disability, anything is possible. So with that being said, I'd like to tell you a little bit about Eric. Hi, thank you for tuning in. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Now I'm going to share something about Eric. So Eric is a Flint, Michigan native and entrepreneur who is passionate about changing the way people view disabilities. This passion came after a fateful night in 1997 in which Eric suffered a spinal cord injury that paralyzed him from the neck down. Throughout this journey, Eric uses his experience to empower resilience and inspire change for people with barriers. Wow. So that last line was really powerful for me. And as I read it multiple times, the fact that you said people with barriers. So with that being said, do you find that people with disabilities all have barriers, or does everyone have barriers, like in general? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Everyone.
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 Yeah.
That's why exactly why I didn't use disabilities, because it's about barriers.
Yeah.
Everyone has a barrier. And you find that whether it's physical, mental, it could just be there's a lot of things.
Yeah.
And you just have to talk to them, figure out what the barrier is, and like, all right, that's your wall. Let's do this. Like, let's get over it. Let's figure
Yeah.
out the how.
Eric, I really like your spirit. Like, you're just really cool to talk to. And if anyone who has a misconception out there about people with disabilities, physical disabilities or what have you, that, their personalities are boring or they don't really do anything, I can say that Eric does a lot. What do you think, Eric?
I would agree. I would agree. 10x that.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure. I would agree. A lot of times they think, what are you doing out in public? Shouldn't you be at home? Or I don't understand it. Or, yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions out there, but that's why we're here. We can
Yeah.
talk about that. That's why we get out in public, so that we can show that people with disabilities have
Yeah.
amazing quality of lives.
Yeah. I like that. So let's start with the gear you're wearing. Inspire and Inspire Flint. Is that your own line?
It is. I know you like that. I did my it's like my finger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
the brand, my business is called EC Awareness by Design. So we
Mm.
specialize in graphic design, branding, apparel, and marketing materials. So one of the brands
Yay.
is called Inspire.
Yeah.
So I'm wearing the Inspire Flint. I live in Flint, and so this is the one I had on, but represent Flint. And we have multiple different Inspire designs now, but the original one is just the Inspire without anything, and it's the black and white. That was the
Mm.
original. But it really started out.
Whoa.
I was wearing it on my chest uh, when I went to go speak. Then we went to a middle school, and it
Yeah.
was like some eighth, and seventh graders, and they were like, they just wanted to like be better. It was like empowering them. Like it was
Aw.
something. It was something you could see. They were like, they want to do something creative. They wanted to like just do better. Like it was bringing out the best in them, you know. And it was like, yo, we got to make this public, because it wasn't even going to be that. I was just going to wear it. I was just going to wear it when I went to speak and stuff. But yeah.
You
Then we
said
started making
yo.
it. Yeah, no, I'm showing my hip hop stuff.
I like
um,
it.
so yeah, then we went to the Damon John Academy. We had a website up.
Yeah.
We had the website up, but we had no idea how to make sales. We just had a website because that's what you're supposed to do when you have a business, right? So
Yeah.
we're there, and they're like, "Yeah, everybody go to the website." We're like, "Don't go to our website. Don't do that. Just go to our Facebook page. Go there. Don't go to the website." So we learned about Shopify. The next
Oh,
business
yeah.
day, we shut down the website and opened up Shopify, and we
Mm.
actually learned how to do e-commerce and make sales. So
Money,
that's
money.
where it all started. It was really cool being in bed and making a sale. I
Yeah.
remember that. Like I woke up when I looked at my laptop the next morning, and I'm like, "Oh wow, like I sold something while I was sleeping."
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's the goal.
"Yeah." And at that time though, we were making stuff in house, like all of it. Then it was like, okay, once we started seeing like how much like time and like handling, it was like we that's where we started print on demand service. So we started
Mm.
using Printful. So now like when someone orders, it's automatically going to be picked and then printed and then
Yeah.
shipped.
Yeah.
And Printful handles that.
Yeah.
We see everything that's going on.
Mm.
It's transparent, and we get the customer's information, their
Mm.
email and whatever information they provided, so that we can send them
Yeah.
letters and stuff or coupons or
Eric,
just
when did you get your name, Mr. Inspire?
it just happened sometime within the last 10, 15 years. It
Wow.
just happened. I would just go somewhere. I'm a hip hop artist too, so a lot of
Mm.
times when I'd go to the D-Man studio, they'd be like, "Oh, what's happening, Mr. Inspire?" So I'm like, "Okay." Like, it's interesting
Aw.
too because way back in the day, I was Mr. Connections because I always knew how to
Mm.
network and provide resources. So they were like,
Mm.
"Mr. Connections," you know? He always had
Yeah.
connections. So and then somehow it just came about. Like they were just like every time they would see me, they would just say that, and I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So I guess that's what it is. And then I started embracing it. So I was like, "Okay, I'll embrace it."
Mhm.
And it just started being part of my language, part of me, my life. Like Eric Petter Thomas, Mr. Inspire. And then even broadcast, I'd be like, "What's up, world? Eric Petter Thomas broadcasting live,
Hey,
from Flint, Michigan, or something like that." So yeah, just happened.
so I know when we last spoke, you were telling me about Flint. So tell the viewers, who may not know what Flint is like. What is your experience living there now?
I mean, there's two different parts. There's
Mhm.
the not so good. There
Mhm.
is it can be rough, and there is some crime. I mean, there's crime. There's job loss. There's the water crisis. We've been poisoned since April 2014. It's still not fixed yet. So they're still
Yeah.
going through a lawsuit right now. That's really a lot of things are happening right now. A lot
Mhm.
that I'm not even able to keep up with on what's going on with that. All I know is that my water is not good, and we use
Mm.
bottled water here, and we have been. That's been the way of life. Not, not, like we don't want to keep it the way of life, but that's what we had to do. We had to adapt for why we were trying
Mhm.
to survive. The other end is there's the cultural center.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of musicians and sports people in sport. The sport. What do we call them? People that use sports
Yeah.
women and men. Uh,
Good stuff.
um, there's what else is there? There are small businesses that
Yeah.
are out there. They figure it out. They figure out like how to grind, how to hustle, how to make an actual business.
Mm.
You know, they find a way.
Yeah.
We've taken so many hits and so many punches, and we just get right back up. And we're the Rocky. We're the Rocky. They're like, boom, boom, boom,
Balboa.
boom. We're like, yeah, we're back up. And that's what I feel like. But this is my own opinion.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of things. There's the downtown area that's been growing. The city's been growing too. I mean, and of course, I mean, we look at the people that's come out of here. We have, the actors, and then of course we have Clarissa Shields, best, best boxer. I mean,
It's good
it,
you know, because I don't know. But look, you've come out of Flint. Hello.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I never even think of myself in like this whole,
Mm.
but that's okay because other people will bring you in, like you just did.
Yeah.
So I don't have to
Yeah.
really, I mean,
Self-image.
but
So,
yeah, there's a
yeah,
lot going on. We're
yeah,
surviving.
yeah. Would you like to share you're funnier. Would you like to share the beginning of your journey? I'm sure someone is wondering what was the incident that took place, that night?
Like go back to like that night when it happened.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Share with everyone, what your life yeah, just share with everyone what happened, yeah.
Okay. Well, so that night it was September 20th in 97. My group Miscellaneous were celebrating our hip hop album like music project. And we all
Wow.
lived in the same house. So we had it at the house, of course, a professional function at an unprofessional area. So it's 97. So remember, there's not like cell phones and things like that. There's like more pagers and landlines and things.
Yeah.
There's no social media or anything like that. I don't think people were barely using the internet at that time. Maybe like Yahoo Chat or something,
I was not even
or,
in this country then. I was
or
like 5 years
AOL.
I was 5 years old.
Put it this way, at that time, the internet did this. It
Yeah.
was dial up. It was horrible. It sounded like a fax machine. So I go outside to check the parking lot to make sure that everything's like cool. People aren't in my neighbor's yard, causing chaos.
Mm,
I'm
mm.
out. I'm only out there for like 5 minutes, and I'm facing the house. Then out of nowhere, someone from behind me, so like right there, they pull the gun, they open fire, pow 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 pow, and then I get hit in the neck. So when the gun goes off, I immediately like turn, right by body reaction, and then the bullet hits me in the third vertebrae, and then it's lodged right between my third and fourth vertebrae. There's a piece of my skin in the back. It's like raised, so it looks like maybe one might have grazed, possibly. It's like when I turned or something like that. Then I fell down to the ground, and I wasn't able to move, not uh, from the head down, like nothing. I wasn't able to move anything. And then at the same time, I wasn't able to breathe. So I'm losing breath. I'm not able to breathe on my own, and then I'm not able to talk. I'm not able to like go, hey, like I'm here, help, like I'm surviving, like I'm alive. Nothing. All I could do though, but I could hear though. I had hearing and sight because I was in and out of consciousness with sight, and I could hear, so I could hear like someone's been shot, Eric's been shot. Then chaos was happening. People were scramming, like trying to save themselves and stuff like that. And, a few people stuck around, and then the guy in the house, he was taking EMT classes. He came out and stabilized me. So the ambulance got there. The fire, it's like a fire ambulance kind of thing. I remember hearing the diesel engine, like that clunk, 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 clunk. I remember that. If I hear it out there, like in public, I'll be like, ooh, I remember that. And then before you know it, they're taking me to the hospital. And I got 4 screws in my head. So I got 2 in my forehead, and then one
Mm.
above my ear and one above my other ear, because it's this like halo thing. It's a metal cage. It looks like a bird's nest, okay, like a bird's cage. And then your head's in it like this. And all you can do is move your eyes like left and right. That's all you do. You're not able to do this. Not able to do none of that. Not at all. So now your head is stable. Okay, so that's stabilizing the spine. And then they put tubes in my throat, and they intubated me because I wasn't able to breathe, which is called a ventilator or life support. And then I wake up in the morning and I see my mom, stepdad, and dad and stepmom, some medical and some friends. Of course, that's what they tell you. You're paralyzed. But like, I don't know what happened. But you're going through so much at that time. You don't really think about like, why am I not moving? What's going on? Like, you're more like thinking like, why I need to survive. Like survival is key. And I could only communicate at that time with eye blinks. So once for yes, twice for no. And that was my form of communication. And then like a couple weeks later, or it could be a week and a half, but it's somewhere around there. Uh, they took the tubes out of my throat because they said, well, he'll never breathe on his own. He's going to be paralyzed for the rest of his life. So we're just going to give him a tracheotomy. So they cut a hole in your throat area down, then they put a trach. And so now the tubes are basically there. You got a trach, you got this big box that breathes for you. But I was able to tongue click though. So I moved up. I went from I have links to that was my form of communication. And I was able to eat again because at first I wasn't able to eat. So now I can eat. So I can eat and I can communicate with my tongue. And I can move my mouth. So if you said something, I could be like, you just had to read lips, but there was no audio coming out. So now, now I'm in the hospital, just working on survival. Nobody knows who did the shooting. It's everybody. He said, she said, all this. I'm under an alias. Chaos is there going on, and happiness or whatever. Everything else is happening. I didn't even sleep for like 3 weeks. The only time I slept when they gave me like a shot of Ativan in my IV
Mm,
or something. I'm pretty sure it was Ativan, and I'd be like, ugh, you know. And then before you know, we hear about this stuff called rehab, and that was the next step. That was the transition step. And the idea of going to rehab was so I could get off the ventilator. So we found a place that was specialized in getting off the ventilator so I could breathe again. So before you know it, I'm heading out to Inglewood, Colorado, October 29th.
mm,
And then I get there, and then the respiratory therapist turns off the ventilator for 30 seconds. And then I'm like, I don't even know how to breathe. But they hooked up like an O2 level or a pulsometer on me so I can see my O2 levels. So I'm like, okay, looks like I'm breathing. I guess I'm breathing. I'm not able to talk either, remember? So then
mm.
they go, okay, you did great. We'll come back in a few hours. Do it again. I'm like, okay, it's great. So that was it. But the whole time I was in rehab, the whole goal was to do this. Sit. Imagine that.
Breathe.
Imagine that. Waking up every single day and the goal is just to do this. Breathe air without a machine.
Wow. Wow.
So going through all that, it's getting closer to the March 20th is when I'm about to be discharged.
Hmm.
Like 2.5 weeks before I come home, I get off the ventilator. So, and before that, I had the screws taken out for the halo. So when they took that halo off, my head was like a wet noodle. I was like this. And they put this hard, soft collar. I was going to say a hard collar, but I'm pretty sure it was a soft collar. So it's a neck brace. But the guy that was there that was taking care of me, he was
Mm,
like, look, if you keep that on, you're just kind of like it's like you're not going to build the strength like you need to. So you need to
mm,
just like take it off when you can and then put it on. Transition it gradually. I was like, okay. Not go cold turkey, but just, build your muscle up like that. So I said, all right. But I remember my skull was so heavy. It's heavy. I mean, I got a big head anyways, but it's really heavy. So I know how big how heavy my head is when someone says, man, you got a hard head. Because I was just like, look at my neck. Now I'm like a football player. I'm like, like a wrestler or something. I got a
yeah.
big neck, man, like 19 and a half. I'm ready to,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was real skinny and thin, and it was just like, I looked like a bobblehead. You know a bobblehead? It's,
Yeah.
that's what I looked like. That's what I was. I was a human bobblehead. So,
Mm,
but through that, working with that neck brace and doing what he said, it all worked out. The day by day, my neck got stronger. With, of
mm.
course, in physical occupational therapy, we worked on it, building that up. But if I'm on my stomach, if you roll me on my stomach, you say lift your head up. I'm not able, like for some reason, me lifting my head up like that when I'm on my stomach doesn't work. But if
Mm.
I'm on my back, I can, I can, I don't know. So, but yeah, before you know it, the ventilator came out and I was coming home back to
Wow.
my mom and stepdad's house, back to planet Earth, because I felt like I was on a whole other planet. I
Yes.
was, I just felt like I was on another planet.
Did you feel like
No,
it was all a blur? Like, was it so fast for you that you don't even remember some parts of it?
I don't think it was fast. I think I was trying to slow
Mm.
down time because I was trying to keep, like, I was in my bubble, you know?
Yeah.
I wasn't ready to go home. I wasn't mentally ready, wasn't physically ready. I just wanted to be there because it was safe. I have all these nurses and caregivers, and I
Yeah.
don't have to go anywhere. I got my bed and my food and my occupational therapy, and I can go on outings.
Mhm.
I'm taken care of pretty well. And it just got to that time where it's like you're going to be discharged back home. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh no, I'm not.
Yeah,
No,
you're
I'm
in
not.
shock because
Yeah,
your
you're
whole
not
life has
ready.
changed. So when you were shot that night, did you think you were gonna die?
Um, I don't know. I don't know if the thoughts of like if that
Mm.
came through. It was more like
Mhm.
I want to survive. I want to live, but I also
Good.
felt like incomplete, like unfinished. Like I had things I had to do.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like and like before that. So I'm 20 years old, and I put out goals. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
I've done tasks, I've done projects, I've done goals, but I got this close and then something just pulls it away. So that night was like, I'm gonna accomplish this goal. This is it. This is happening. This is happening, you know? And then it was like almost like you missed it by that much, you know, and it was
And
rough.
the
So
Yeah, and the fact that it happened where you didn't intentionally even have a fight with anyone or don't
no,
know who
nothing.
even did it. It's just the environment that you live in, which is why I wanted you to explain about, Flint a little bit. So, thanks for sharing all of that with us.
Yeah.
What was the most difficult thing you encountered throughout this whole process? Because there's numerous things that are a part of this. It's not, it's, obviously it's your whole body down, and the fact that to know that, you're a human bobblehead, like you said, and it's like how, people want to know, like, how do you survive that? Like, how do you deal with something like that? So
You just
rare, you know?
you just got hope, you know? You got
Mhm,
faith and hope.
mhm.
You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah,
the thing. And you know that things are gonna be better. You just gotta know. You just have to have that know and that will. And also you don't know at the time if you're gonna be paralyzed for long term or short term. Because the
yes,
movies don't tell the truth.
yeah,
So
yes.
that's what we go about. That's my narrative. That's what I know. That's all I know.
I love it.
But
Yeah,
it's what do you want with life? Do you want to survive? Do you
I
really
really like
is
that.
there really
Mhm.
some dreams that you want to achieve? And it's
Yeah,
like you survived this, so now like you have this whole nother purpose that you could actually help somebody too. So like
yeah.
I went from like the hip hop stage to performing on a stage for people with disabilities, you know, with their
Mm,
quality of life, like helping people's lives. You know what I mean? And like,
yeah.
but at the same time, you're still trying to survive. I mean, there's everything's going on. You've got pain. Your lungs are filled up with fluid. You're getting
Mhm,
straw down your throat. I mean, it is
mhm.
brutal. It's brutal. It's brutal. You know, I mean, because they have to suction your lungs. You're not talking about one time. You're talking about throughout the whole day and night. And you're talking about where you are almost at death because your lungs just they won't clear. You know, they're
Yeah,
beating on you. They're massaging you. They tip
yeah.
the bed upside down like you're a bat. And you know what
Mm,
I'm saying? Like, I mean, they have the bed shaking. They do everything they can do to break the secretions in your lungs because when that happens, you get pneumonia, your lungs collapse. You know, so
mhm.
your lungs fill up with fluid, and that's what happens. Then you have the trach. The trach can cause secretions because it's a foreign object in your body. Um,
Wow.
it's that's hard. And then you have all these different ways of doing things. Going to the bathroom, you
Mm.
know, you're like,
Yeah, yeah,
wow, like how does that happen? Like
yeah.
we're here, we are, 1997, and this is as far as we came. And not to mention the chair.
Wow.
Like they haven't figured out. Like I don't want to sit down. I want to stand up. Like
Yeah.
we are just like here's a chair. Just sit down. It's okay. You know, like, wait a minute. How are we not advanced when there's so many other advancements out there?
Is that available? I know we spoke
They
about the
advance
chair.
chairs now.
Yeah, so share with everyone, what your goals and dreams are for yourself. I feel like that's very important because someone was asking how can they help you, and someone also said the mindset is key and faith in knowing things will get better. Thanks, Kristen. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Uh, two questions. So how can they help me?
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, I just got done fundraising for a van, so that was
Mhm.
awesome. 30 months, brand new wheelchair accessible van. It's beautiful. So now I'm fundraising for a house. We live to inspire. Campaigns we live to inspire. I think the website's Eric Patrick Thomas. I think that's what it is, Eric Patrick Thomas.
Mhm.
And then so that's my new thing, you know, getting a house that's gonna be like wheelchair accessible, like accessible, maybe has some assistive technology. So like I have friends that
Yes.
are blind and like that are deaf. My stepbrother's deaf. He comes over to my house if he's trying to communicate with me with sign language. I know what he's saying, but I'm not
Mm.
signing back because my
Yeah.
arms don't move. So how do I communicate with
Yeah.
him without having to get on my laptop and type, you know, and things like that? So maybe there's something that goes on the wall, like a ticker or a screen, and you're text messaging or I don't know something. And
Mm.
then my friend that's
Yeah.
blind, maybe there's something that turns on that says the bathroom's here, the exit's here, the doorway's here. You know what? You know,
Innovation.
yeah,
I
you
like
know,
it.
just something like that. The next step. You know, I've been renting this house since June 2012. So I'm ready for the next step. I did an apartment, and I did a rented a house. So now I'm ready for home ownership. So that's the next step. The other thing is just going to the website,
Yeah.
inspireshirt.com, then purchasing Inspire stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Every purchase helps. You know, it doesn't just help me, it helps other people because that
Hmm.
keeps me going to where I can do the things that I do. You know, like it keeps my mission rolling. Um, and then the other question was what? There was two questions, right? Or the
Yeah.
other
Just,
thing was just the comment
what are
mindset.
your goals and dreams? I know we were talking about your goals and dreams. So when did you start speaking, Eric? Like, when was that?
After the injury, when I was in rehab,
Hmm.
the nurses were paying attention to how well I handled things. Once I was able to let the cuff down, they let the
Yeah.
cuff down, and then you're able to go, hello, hi, you know, with the ventilator. You're
Yeah.
able to speak through the trach. And then they would say, would you go talk to this person? They just got shot, or
Wow.
they got shot. They're here, they're in this floor, they're having a rough time. And so that journey kind of started there, which I found out,
Wow.
I learned that's called advocacy or
Mm.
mentoring or something, you know. I didn't know what any of that was called then, but that's where it started after the injury. Um, and then when I got home and I went to the Disability Network, and Mr. Zelli said, "You may not believe I'm 20 years old. My world's been rocked. You know, you may not believe this, but you'll be able to accomplish whatever you want to do. Just get involved, testify, tell your
Wow.
story, and testify. You know that people with disabilities can have a long-lasting quality of life. You know, you can accomplish anything." And so I said, "All right." So I believed him. And then he was like, and then when it came to cuts or Medicaid or Medicare or long-term care, they call me up. Hey, can you go to speak in the House? Can you go to testify in the Senate? Can you go to Washington D.C.? I'm like,
Yeah.
can you get me there? Yeah. He said he'll get me there, so here I go. Here I go to the Capitol. Here I go to,
Wow.
and now I'm building this relationship with legislators because they're in office for ever. you know, so so and
Mm.
so this is local, so this is city and then state and
Mm.
federal. And I'm learning. And then mid 2000, so I've already spoke a lot at like long-term care places, a couple schools at that time. And then mid 2000, a guy Dave and we spoke to Congressman Dale Kildee at that time. And what we did, and we what we said about the quality of life of a person with a disability, he took that and he made it a bill called Money Follows the Person. And then that
Wow.
got introduced into the House and the Senate, and it passed, and they still vote on it today.
Wow.
Billions of dollars have been brought in to get people out of nursing homes. It's like amazing. They still vote on it today. I'm like, wow, they're still voting on it. That's so cool. So yeah, so it started from there, and then people just started kind of picking up on it and saying, "Oh, you come tell your story at the Chamber of Commerce. You come tell your story at the Rotary Club."
It's
So
big.
before you know it, I'm like going to all these places that feed you and stuff all the time. It's like, here, eat some food, eat some food. That's all they're doing is eating food and talking business, and then you
Hey,
just share
food
your
is
story.
delicious. So
Oh yeah,
I remember when you said I could eat food again,
yeah,
and how did that possibly felt amazing, right? Like, oh, food, like something that,
yeah.
didn't change after your journey.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's a great question because now
Yeah.
when I eat food, breathe, drink, everything,
Mm,
gratitude.
mm. Yes.
I know what
I
it's
was
like without. I know what it's like.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say it's a gift, but I know what it's like not to have it. So then because that happened, I have like this overabundance of appreciation for it. So when I
Yes.
eat, it's an experience. I make songs, like today's Taco Tuesday. I make songs, I jingle. I'm like, yo, in the morning, and the way I wake up, I'm like,
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah.
hey, you know what today is? Go to sleep.
Mm.
It's Taco Tuesday. They're like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's Taco Tuesday. We're getting some tacos somewhere. We're
Yeah.
celebrating. So it's like, and it's
Yes.
just to get it. And I don't have a favorite food. I don't have a. I just appreciate being able to eat and being able
Yeah.
to just have the things like. Oh, I know
Yeah.
what it's just like not to have anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I've
say
seen
this, yeah.
everything.
Yeah. I definitely do this as well because there was a time where I didn't have a hot meal, and that's a different experience. Yours is, obviously on another level. And earlier you also mentioned breathing, the fact that how incredible is it, that a lot of people do yoga and focus on mindfulness, yet for you, it's something only you can experience because of your journey. And I honestly, honestly feel like you have one of the best mindsets I have ever come across. And I work with coaches and mentors of sorts. And I can honestly say I don't feel any drop of that you feel sorry for yourself or any negativity from you ever. And you're just incredible overall. I feel like God has chosen the right person for this specific journey. Obviously, not that it's great that you got shot, but you truly are the epitome of making the best of what you have. Like I couldn't have done it
Like,
better than you. You know what I mean?
yeah, you just there,
Yeah.
there's good days and there's better days. You know,
Wow.
I still have pain. Like I'm in pain now. Without
Yeah.
this,
Yeah. Wow.
there's pain, there's muscle spasms, there's so many other things that come with the spinal cord injury.
Right.
There's complications. Like I just spent 820 plus days in bed rest, from March 1st to
Hmm.
2018 to, 5 weeks ago. I
Hmm.
relapsed my bone infection 3 times. We get skin breakdown. This is just me, but this also can happen to other people. We have
Yeah.
UTIs are big a lot of times because we have catheters or we cath ourselves. That
Yeah.
it just happens because of bacteria and stuff. Um, you have to watch your skin. Right now, it's what? I'm in Michigan and it's like snowing and it's what, 20 degrees and I just had a
Yeah.
fan on earlier because I was hot. So it's freezing outside and I'm over here like it's the desert. I'm like, oh, and sweating. So then it's just like, you get in bed, you have to get turned. These are just the physical
Yeah.
things, mentally too. Like
Mm.
when you're on antibiotics, like for the bone infection, when I did 17 weeks of antibiotics, trying to think and trying to focus and run a business and the business of your life. Remember, I got 2 businesses. One is
Hey.
the company and one is my caregivers. So
Yeah.
it's like I got dual business all the time. That's not easy because like the antibiotics just really just oh, they just mess with you, in 17 weeks. When I tell people 17 weeks of antibiotics, they're like, I could barely do 2 weeks. I'm like, yeah, 17 weeks. And yeah, it's just, but all in all, man, I got so much stuff I want to do. There's so many other people I talk to, and I know that I can help them by just connecting dots somehow. But you only have 24 hours in a day, you know what I mean? So you have to like kind of figure out, time management as much as you can, which I'm great at, not really, but I'm always just like doing everything whenever. I'll be up at 3 in the morning, be like, yeah, I'm about to do this now. Let's do this. But it's just
Yeah.
I think what I say for 2021, I've been working on like a book outline. People said you should write a book. I'm like, okay.
Mm.
So I'm working on the outline, not sure where it's gonna go with it, but at least it's in action and it's in a goal.
Yeah.
Um, the house, that's a goal. That's something. I just want to be able to see that, but also I want to
Yes.
be able to show people how to do it for their house, like the assistive technology. So they'll be able to like I can record it and be like, look, this is how I turn the TV on, put it up on YouTube, help other people. Other people will be like, "Oh, okay, okay." Because
Yeah.
when I search for stuff, I'm like, "How do I do this?" And I'm on YouTube, YouTube University. I'm looking at reviews. I'm calling the companies. I'm like, "Okay, look, if the person wasn't able to move the neck down, how would they turn something on? Could they turn it on? Could they turn it off by voice?" Well, yeah, they can turn it off by voice. You just push the button. No, 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 no button pushing. Say your hands are tied up. You need to be like you have to explain it because they always want to say you can push a button and do some stuff. And,
Exactly.
and I'm like, okay, like I need to know this stuff because once I know it, then I can record it, then I can put it up there. Then somebody doesn't have to go through. I mean, I guess everybody has to do their homework, but at least I can make it a little bit easier, So
Yes.
because people in my past that I do homage for, they made it easy for me. They opened the trails and blazed it for me, like they opened the doors.
Mm.
So whenever it was hard for them, they were like, we're going to fight for accessibility. We're going to fight for representation. We're going to fight for education. We're going to fight for living independent and self-determination. We're going to fight to show that we are equal and that we belong. And then I come behind them because they open that door for me. So it's only right. That you also you pay homage to them, but then you
Right.
also gotta things that you're doing right now. Like right now, the stuff I'm doing is for people that are coming after me. Yeah.
So I have a question. Was your character always this way even when you were 20, or did this develop through, the injury? Or were you
I think it
always
just
this way?
intensified. I think it just came out, just got brought out stronger.
Wow.
There was always something there. Like I was always there to take. Like it was always like if you came to my house and
Mm,
you came over. My parents got divorced when I was 2. Before I was 2, so I was the
mm.
man of the house. Okay, so if you came over to watch TV or whatever, hang out, and I'd be like, "Hey, you want something to eat? Or you want something to drink? Just go in the refrigerator. Just go
Oh,
get it." Like it was kind of
you
like
were
that.
kind.
And I wasn't the person because my mom always taught me like not to eat in front of people. So I would
Mm,
always like it's always like me and someone. I think that food eating is more than just eating. I think it's also fellowship. It's like, hey, I'm breaking bread with you. So you
wow.
eat and I eat. We'll both eat together. We're gonna have this food communication. And
Wow.
I've been like that way before the injury. So
Wow.
um, and that goes with anything. As long as you ask, just don't go and take stuff. Just ask. Like the respect of asking. Like don't go in my room and start taking my clothes and putting them on. Just say, yo, can I wear a hood? Or you got something for me to wear? You got a hat to wear or something? I'll be like,
Mm,
oh yeah. Then I say, yeah, go in the closet and grab something. It's just
mm.
you asked. It was just that one little respect thing.
Wow.
Because I did have
Wow.
it a few times where I'm like, you didn't ask. But I did have early childhood days. I did have a temper. I had some anger
Mm,
issues. I had behavior issues, and that could be from divorce. That could be not understanding. That could be
yeah.
from remarriage. Not
Mm,
understanding. And my stepmom, this at that time, that they're not married anymore. We did not have a good relationship after my stepsister got killed by a car. So
wow.
kind of like in that she was 7 and I was 5. So that kind of
7.
changed our relationship a little bit. So I think because I was alive and her daughter wasn't, and that's how
Yeah.
I felt. So I think that added on top of it, what was going on. I mean, I was in 3rd grade going to psychiatrist, so I mean, I had
Wow.
it, but we worked through it and we moved around a lot. There wasn't very much stability in school and things like that, but I always knew how to adapt and make friends. I always and I never like classified my friend or by something like say that's like my black friend or brown. Like I just said that's my friend. I never,
Yeah.
I never did that. I wasn't raised that way. I was just
Mm,
raised that we were just it's just us. It's just people as people. And so I never would be like, oh, that's my whatever friend is coming over or something. Like any kind of it was always person first language, and that's just how I was raised. That's just and then so yeah, I mean, I've always been just kind of like the shirt off the back kind of person. Like,
wow.
I don't know. It's just that's the way. If you come over, like, get in the fridge, whatever, like, eat whatever, and after a while, then people that did come over, they, but they earned that. Like, then someone could come
Mm,
to my door or come over to my house and then just go in the fridge. They didn't have to ask. You know what I
I
mean? But
like
it
that
was an
word.
earned kind of thing.
Yeah.
Earned kind of thing. And we did the same at each other's houses.
Yeah.
We just treated it as our own, though that we were both there and stuff. So
You have
yeah,
great values. Yeah, your mom instilled those values in you, and so your character has always been the same, of course, the temperament, but you are who you are, like you always were how you are now. That didn't
yeah, it
change.
just
Yeah.
intensified. It's like it brought
Yeah.
it out. People say where
Yeah.
did Inspire? You used to ask me where Inspire came from. Inspire's been there. I just caught up with it.
I
I
like
caught
that.
up with Inspire was like, about time. It's about time, you knucklehead. It's
Yeah.
like about time you done did this, you did this. I've been waiting for you, Eric. Like, but that's okay because timing is everything, and
Yeah.
and it's right on the right time. It's not early, it's not late. It's right then because
I really
if you
like
get
that.
something so early, then you don't appreciate it.
Mm.
If you get it too late, you might not even want it anymore.
My
So when you
God.
get it, you're like, wow, I got it. Because you got to think about the things that we get and life changing. Think about those too. The life changing goals are the things that we think about. Those are the ones that we work the hardest towards. Things that are going to dramatically change our life: transportation, house, caregiving, what business, whatever it is. So those are the
Mm.
goals that we go after and achieve. And it's like, you think about it. If I had this business, okay, I opened November 2011. If I would have opened it up just a year before that, I wasn't ready because the things that were matured in my life, I wasn't matured enough to be opening the doors yet. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
That hit the nail on the head. I needed to hear that myself. And I know that everyone who's listening, you definitely inspire wherever you go. Do you want to share a bit about your experience, meeting Damon and your experience at the academy? Tell me more about that because I don't
Oh,
know yet.
oh, I can just share our relationship. So, oh, my
Mhm.
headset just said battery low. That's okay. We're gonna do this. It's gonna survive. So in the business plan, it was to meet Damon John because of FUBU. Okay,
Mm.
so then the anniversary of my business, Damon comes to Flint to speak at Mott College. The people that are
Wow.
bringing him here, I already built a relationship with. So they knew I had a business doing t-shirts. So they already had it set up. So after he got talking, right? So you never know when you build these relationships. Don't burn bridges,
Mm.
build them, So,
Mm.
and then after he spoke, the curtain opened up. And I remember Mrs. Coney, she pointed at me. She was like, "Okay, it's your time." Like, I'm opening the door for you, but you gotta do the rest there. So then, like Damon says, I put the chair in like drive and crashed into everyone and crashed in his life. I've been in his life ever since. But our conversation was awesome, at that time. And he just said, "Stay in touch. Let's stay in touch with each other." I've heard that from lots of people. Okay, lots of people I've met, celebrities or music artists, everything. So I was like,
Mm.
okay, yeah, yeah. So we started following each other on Twitter, and then we followed each other, and he started following my story, and then
Mm.
before you know it, I knew he was watching or paying attention, observing, because then I got this text and it said, "Yeah, I like that design," because I posted like a design on Twitter, and then he replied. I'm like, I knew he was watching. Well, then now the academy's coming, and so he says, the academy, the Damon John Academy is going to be in Michigan, like Southfield. You should go. And so our team went to it, and then we just learned. George was one of our instructors. He was awesome, and I still friends with him. And we just learned, and we focused on Inspire. Like that was the
Mm.
focus. That was like the focus because we were still doing Inspire, but we were doing all other design brands and stuff at the same time. So we started focus on Inspire, and then somewhere months later, Damon made a purchase. We were like geeked about that. We were like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So we were like, when's he gonna post photos? Where in the. Then it was Friday the 13th. It was a June, Friday the 13th, 2014.
Mm.
I get a message. He's like, check out, go look at the Facebook or something. And I look at it, and it's like he wrote this big write up about what we were like,
Wow.
our relationship, what he thought about Inspire. And then he called me the brand of
Mm.
inspiration. And I was like, oh shoot. So our team was geeked, our team was happy. So that's what started Inspire Friday. So
Wow.
the way that we felt about everything, we started saying, what inspires you? Hashtag Inspire Friday. So now we're building this relationship. And then 2015 in June, a week
Mm.
before Father's Day, Damon texts me. He's like, "Can you come out to LA?" I'm thinking like he thinks maybe August or something. And I'm like, I gotta have like a caregiver, and I'm like, not trying to take advantage, but I need people with me. He was like, I know, I know. He's like, contact my secretary, my assistant. She has the details. Okay.
Oh.
So I find out everybody said, well, no, I had contacted her. She was like, yeah, he wants you out here in 6 days. I was like, 6 days. I was like, 6 days. Oh man, okay, I can do it. So then
Yeah.
I said, first, let me make sure I got people to take me. So I
Mm.
contacted my dad and one of my caregivers, and they were like, yeah, we can do it. We can help you. So I'm like, okay. So I contact her. We coordinate it, trying to find the accessible way to get on a plane, accessible transportation, accessible hotel. Eventually, they just said, like, you just book everything and then just send us the receipts. I was like, okay, yeah.
Mm.
So that's what we did. So before you know it, the day before Father's Day, we're heading out to LA from Detroit. We're getting on the plane. I'm getting transferred from my wheelchair
Hey.
to the aisle chair. Yep, the wheelchair to the aisle chair, and the
Yeah.
aisle chair to the airplane seat on Delta. And then we're flying to LAX. I get to LAX, same thing, get out of the wheelchair or the aisle to the airplane seat to the aisle chair to the wheelchair. Okay, so you get LAX, all these cabs are there. Lights are like little bug light, little lights are everywhere lined up. They got this like traffic controller, that cab right there. You want that cab? People arguing, fighting over cabs, who they're gonna take. I'm there trying to just get one. Where's the wheelchair transportation? We don't have one of those. We have a bus that has a wheelchair ramp. It only goes like a mile. It doesn't go to downtown LA. We're like, oh, come on. So fine, I call the hotel. The person at the desk contacts a wheelchair transportation company. And it's like, okay, so I got you somebody. They'll be out there within an hour or something like that. So before you know it, he pulls up. He's got his van. I'm like, okay, I'm looking at it. There's no wheelchair ramp or nothing. So I'm like, he pops
Uh,
open the trunk. He's got a portable ramp.
mm.
Oh man, how am I gonna get in here? He was like, oh no, just get in. It's fine. Where's the tie downs at? No, no, it's good. Oh, no, like what is happening? So somehow I fit in and this is a front seat, a passenger seat, and a bench seat. And I fit
Mhm.
in the middle, and it's like 8 duffel bags full of Inspire gear. We got 3 people all together, plus him and his lunch. His lunch was in a big cooler, probably weighed like 25 pounds. I'm sure of it because it looked hefty. So I'm in there, I'm squeezed in. I don't even know how I fit in there. And the video is on my YouTube channel too, so you can like witness for yourself. Then before you know it, we're going to downtown LA.
Mhm.
We stay at the hotel where the next day Damon's going to be on Inc. magazine. So I'm his guest of honor. So I went through that. I stayed at the hotel. So I made it through that challenge, that barrier.
Yeah.
That goal was achieved. The next day we went to Shark Tank, and we got a different wheelchair, like a wheelchair transportation company,
Mhm.
to come get me. And then we went to Shark Tank, and then you go through Sony Studios and you sign all this information, like confidential agreements that you're not going to say anything until the episode airs. And
Mm.
then you go in there, and then we watched 11 pitches. It's all raw. It's complete. There's no scripts. There's nothing. So it's great. It was great to see that there's not even any scripts. They just film it, and then they just take that footage and put it into the cutting room. The editing.
Wow.
Yep. There's no audience. It's just like some media, and then whoever was invited,
Mm.
like entrepreneurs or maybe the sharks invited
Mm.
people. Awesome hospitality. Met everybody. It was awesome. I went down. I did the whole Shark Tank experience. Went down the hallway. I even did a wheelchair burnout. We call it an e-spin. So I'm the only person in Shark Tank history that's ever done a wheelchair burnout, and that's on my YouTube channel too.
Aw.
And
Oh gosh.
took pictures with everyone, and yeah, it was just an amazing experience. And then, before you know it, I was heading back to Flint.
Love it.
Yeah,
Tell
and then
everyone your YouTube channel. Tell them where they can find this
I
information.
think it's EPT77.
Mhm. I will check it out and I will link it.
I think that's
Mhm.
what it's EPT77. But
Yes.
for this video, if you hashtag Journey to Inspire the West, all one word, Journey to Inspire the West, that's where the videos are from the Shark Tank experience. So hashtag Journey to Inspire the West, and then you'll see the videos
Journey
pop
to
up.
Inspire the West.
Yeah, Journey to Inspire the West, all one word.
Yeah. And if we
And
Google you, Eric Patrick Thomas, will
yeah,
you
oh
come up?
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. That's why I use all 3 names so that
Eric
it comes.
Patrick
Yeah,
Thomas.
thumbs up. It makes it
Because
so.
is there any confusion with Eric Thomas? That's why I wanted to put Eric Patrick Thomas. So people aren't like, is Eric Thomas on your show?
Yes, yes,
Listen, this
yes,
is a new ET right here, Eric Patrick
yes.
Thomas.
I have showed up at places to speak, and they thought it was going to be Eric Thomas. And of course, I heard that he went
Wow.
somewhere, and they thought it was me too. So, yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Yep,
I've actually seen him. He's great in person.
he's
Yeah.
got a
He's
lot
a great guy.
of energy. He's got a lot of power.
Yes, he definitely brings it. He definitely brings it.
Yeah, well, he's
But
one of the number one
yeah,
speakers, I think.
yeah.
Like,
So
yeah,
are you. So are you.
yeah, yeah. So,
Thank you.
yeah, so
Yeah.
YouTube channel. Oh, and then from that, we built our relationship. So I was on 3 of his books, but not in it, but I was an
Mm,
ambassador for 3 of his books. So I learned how
mm,
to campaign from his book campaigns, which, guess what, helped me when I went to fundraise for a wheelchair van. I used the experience and everything that I've learned.
wow.
Being an ambassador, it's not a paid position, it's a learning position. It's
Yeah.
all. and you're helping somebody else anyways, you know.
Yes.
And then I started the We Drive to Inspire campaign off the Inspire for
Wow.
the wheelchair van. July 2017, started selling Inspire shirts, Inspire hats, Inspire
Wow.
bracelets, Inspire tote bags, and then people were donating and sponsors and things like that. And then of course I thought everything, like I was fundraising, and then that's when March 1st happened, 2018,
Mm.
and then that's when I went down on bed rest from the bone infection, and
Wow.
then June 11, 2018, my lungs collapsed, and I was at an oxygen level of 40, and
Mm.
I was intubated again and tube fed for 15 days. So I relived that 5, 6 months that I did in September 20th to March 20th
Mm.
in less than a month. But I was able to get off the ventilator.
Yeah, of course, it's you.
I was able to do my swallow test. So I was able to eat food again. And then I came home on my
Amazing.
birthday, July 6th, but I still had the hole in my body from the bone infection.
Yeah.
So I had to take care of that. And then August, my caregiver had this fundraiser at a Polish Legion hall, you know, like a
Mm.
dinner and auction and 50-50 raffle and things like that. I sent Damon the campaign. I'm like,
Mhm.
it's like 20,000. You know, is there something I'm missing? Is there? Can you give me some insight? And he was like, hey, can you jump on the call tomorrow? So I was like, okay. So then I got on the call, and then he put 2 people on his team from the Shark Group. So he like let them come on my team to help me
Mm.
fundraise. And it was Sherry and George, but really I started working with George like every day and stuff.
So good.
Yeah, so because I wasn't even gonna ask him, I just asked him to look it over. But he just said, hey, you know, I'm gonna be a part of it or something, you know, like
Yeah,
so.
you deserve that. Mhm.
And then so they joined the end of September or beginning of September or the
Mm.
end of August. And so that's 2018. Yeah, I'm still fun, but remember, I'm still on bed rest. So I'm
Mm.
fundraising from the van side. I'm doing my business from bedside, but
Mm.
also my care, you know, my business of caregiving from bedside, and then and advocate, helping other people while I'm in bedside, like things I could do, you know, what I could do,
Talk
and
about
then
inspiration. Talk about inspiration.
2019 comes, and I'm still on bed rest.
Mm.
I'm like, whoa! And I was supposed to have my stuff in Macy's the month of July, and it was like, yeah, it should be fine by then. June came. June 2019 came, and we were about to order our order for Macy's. We were gonna have to order, you know, the textiles.
Mm.
And I said, I'm still on bed rest. I still got a hole in my body. So I
Mm.
contacted the girl from Macy's, and I told her, I'm like, look, like I really want this, but I think I'm not thinking this out right because of my health. And then I talked to her, and then she said, let me talk to you. Then she said, all right, I'm gonna step aside from business, and I'm gonna talk to you as a friend. And she was like, you should pull out. You should just we can do this another time because it's gonna be like 4 weeks of your body, like your attention and
Mm.
hard work going into the launch. And then when it was there in Macy's for a month, it was going to take, you know, every week I was going to be down there teaching people how to, what the brand's all about, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I was,
Yes.
I was crushed. When I see the commercial, I'm like, oh, you know,
Mm.
I was just so excited for it. So
Yeah.
excited. And my friend Lisa, she was like so excited. She has a lot of experience, and she was going to get the textiles for me. You know, I mean, she was on it, and but break everybody's heart, you know. But I wasn't. There was no way because I didn't
Mhm.
even heal up until the end of December of 2019. After the 17 weeks of antibiotics and the 2 relapses, and then of course COVID came. I got the van December,
Yeah.
28th, and then COVID came. You know, mid March, and we shut down the business, and I moved in with my caregiver. I left my house. I had 5 pair of pants and 3 shirts and 1 hat and 1 pair of shoes
Wow.
out of an ottoman. Like I had the ottoman chest, and I took everything with it
Mm.
and moved there. And I was there from mid March until July 26th. Came home and got my caregivers back on schedule. 2 of them didn't come back, and then I
Mm.
reopened the business, got that back up and going. And then July 28th, you know, the hole opened up in my body again because I was healed for 2020, all the
Yeah.
way to July 28th. a Taco Tuesday, try to ruin my Taco Tuesday. Not the Taco Tuesday. And then,
Darn.
uh, yeah, and then I spent another 18 and a half weeks
Mm.
in bed again. I was not expecting that one. It was hard enough coming back with COVID, happening, bringing my staff back because I have everything you see. There's no distancing. People touch me. They gotta brush my teeth and feed me and be up against me and watch me and transfer. They're up on me. There's no
Mm.
distancing happening. If there's distancing, then I'm not gonna be alive. So all those things. And then I got people that leave the house. There's 4 or 5 people. Where do they go? Where do they go to the store? Do they go around people? Are they?
Mm.
It's like so we, all of us wear ninja masks here except me. But yeah, so we all act like ninjas.
Ninja mask.
And
I
yeah,
like that.
oh yeah, it's cool. Everybody's looking like ninjas here. So that's what I tell them. I try to kind of get them upbeat a little bit.
Mm.
And then so we do well. We do well.
Yeah.
Hands and mask and when we're we do good.
Yeah. You know why? Because you do good. You're funny. You have a great mindset. You know where you're going in life. You don't have any challenges stopping you. And one thing is for sure, you're resilient. Like you always bounce back, regardless of how many infections or whenever you're down.
Yeah,
One thing I have to say is that I know genuinely, like wholeheartedly, that I'm grateful that I came across you and that you are seriously helping people who are in these comments. And I find this to be a bit emotional because it's not even because of the injury, it's about who you are, regardless of the injury, that I feel that you're deserving of, meeting Damon and things of that nature. Even if you didn't have an injury, it's not, oh, let's bring him in, because he's injured and he's doing all this. No, it's bring him in because of who he is without the injury.
yeah,
How do you feel about that? Because I would still think the same about you, whether you had an injury or not.
yeah. That's why we have a design that says "I inspire,
Yeah.
not my disability." I inspire.
What does it say? I'm sorry.
I inspire not because I have a disability. It's I inspire.
Wow.
You
Tell
know,
everyone where they can find your stuff again on your website.
inspireshirt.com, inspireshirt.com. And then the social media is Eric Patrick Thomas. For everything but Twitter is Eric P. Thomas. And then if they want the Inspired Shirt social media stuff, it's Inspired Shirt. Except Instagram made us put a number 1. So it's Inspired Shirt number 1. I
Wow.
know. I don't know why.
Do you
And
have
we're
an
on.
Instagram?
Yeah, yeah, yep. Eric Patrick Thomas.
Okay, Eric Patrick Thomas. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
link it all.
I
Is
try
there
to do
anything?
that.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
and then what do you call it? Like the PayPals and the Venmos or
Yeah. Yeah.
I did all that. I just put Eric Patrick Thomas for all of them because it's
Oh,
interesting. Like I did some other podcasts and they were like, "What's your Venmo?" And I'm like, "What?"
I don't have one either.
I think it might be something to do because actually, this one podcast I did,
Mhm.
she donated money to me. It
To
was
Venmo.
yeah to PayPal. She did
Oh,
PayPal.
okay,
So I have
yes.
Cash App,
Yes.
Venmo, and PayPal, and they're
Yes.
all under Eric Patrick Thomas. So it's
Very
easy.
good.
And I was like, "Whoa!" So I was like super happy. I was like, "Well, okay, what do you want me to put this towards? Should I put this towards the house?" And she was like, "Whatever you need." I'm like,
Oh,
"So I'm just gonna put it towards the house though, because that's my,
wow.
yeah, yeah." Shout out to Lena. Hmm.
So, yeah, shout out Lena. So I have one question. Do you do anything for self-care, like self-love, like, people buy flowers, like candles, like what is something you like to do? Do you
Whatever
do anything?
makes
Yeah.
me happy.
Oh,
Food, food. I'm a foodie. Okay.
foodie. Me too, yeah.
So now, if I'm just like in this mode, I might get on YouTube and do karaoke,
Mm, I
or
like that.
I might listen. Tell Alice to play me an Audible book or something, or I might ask for a joke,
Mm.
or I might find something, a documentary, or find something on Amazon, or
Yeah.
find something I like, or listen to music, or write music.
Mm.
I'm a hip hop artist too.
Yeah. Do you publicly, disclose some of your work, or is that something private for you that you
Oh,
do?
I do have a song called "Beat My Belly Like a Bongo." That's if you Google it, I'm the only person. It's
What
the
is it
only one.
called?
Beat beat my belly like a bongo.
Beat my belly like a bongo. Is it a
Yeah.
funny song?
It's I think it's an all everyone song. Like
Oh,
maybe kind of yeah, yeah. It's not like super funny, but it's all about like your childhood stuff.
Mm.
And basically, like when I started like performing it, I was like, well, it's kind of like feed my belly with inspiration.
Oh, I love it.
It's like, and it didn't come that way. Like it really just started because I was eating probably tacos again, and and
You and
Jesse,
tacos.
we were people watching, right? This is before we were going into the shop because I have a shop, a brick and mortar shop,
Yeah.
and we were people watching and eating in the van, and then Jesse was brushing the. I think she dropped something on my stomach, and it just sounded like a bongo. So I was like, "Hey, you might bet like a bongo. That sounds like a bongo."
Hey.
So that just kept in my head, and then that was a Wednesday, and then Saturday, Bangtown called me up and said, "I got time to do some recording. Like, do you have time?" I'm like,
Wow.
"Yeah." And Bangtown's awesome. I've been wanting to work with him forever. And then he comes over and he's like, "Well, do you have an idea of a song?" And I'm like, "Well, got this in my head, beat my belly like a bongo." And he was like, "Okay." So then he starts listening to my rhythm of it. He starts making the beat.
Yeah.
Then it's just like, beat my belly like a bongo, beat my belly like a bongo, beat my belly like a bongo, my belly, my belly, my belly. So, and then we got that part. And then it was like, now it's time to do the verse.
Ooh.
I don't write with my hand or anything, anything like that.
Yeah.
So I just got on the microphone, listened to the beat, and then I just wrote it in my head. My
Mm.
belly was like, my belly feeling empty, search for the music, good and plenty, revving up. Are you ready? Sip and puff, I'm rolling heavy, my ride. It's good you're ready. Here's the Chevy, mozzarella, happy days, Fonzarelli, feeling my birthday, funfetti, beat my belly like a bongo. So yeah, so that's how it kind of went. So when I was writing in my head, I would do like the bars, then I would listen to it, and then I would go back and I'd do another bars, and then go back, and then before I know, I had one verse, and then I had the second verse, and then he came back one more time, and that's where we like laid the bridges and stuff like that, and
Mm.
yeah, I
So
know,
good.
I know, isn't it like just, and I love it, you know. In
All your
performing,
ideas.
it's
Yeah.
awesome to go on stage and just perform. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
have this one person be like, that's like 5,000, 100 million, billion people. I'm performing for the universe right now.
All your
And they're like,
ideas have manifested.
yeah, I hear you, Eric. Yeah. Then it's like, okay. Yeah. And when I first, uh, oh, and the reason I started recording is because of the D-Man Foundation. So they made
Mm.
the first barrier-free music therapy recording studio and assisted travel for people with disabilities.
Oh,
So people are
wow.
going to the studio, they're not able to move from the neck down, or they're not
Mm.
able to move in. They're using their eyes, eye gaze, they're using their mouth, sip and puff, they're using tap switches. There's people that are blind, they're using whatever the technology that's there. They're working
Mhm.
with a music therapist and an engineer and achieving clinical goals and performing. Like the most amazing type of stuff you ever like. We're bad. We're cool.
Some bad
You,
people.
you see us, you're like, whoa, wait a minute. You got to think about it. You're like, there's
I'm
20 of
definitely
us.
gonna post that. I'm
20 of
definitely gonna
us.
listen to that.
Yeah, it's like 20 of us are about to perform at this event, and it's like,
Mm.
wow, like look at all the, and it's not that we even focus on like the disability. We're just focusing on,
No.
we just love music and performing it.
I feel
And
like
it was
that's really
great.
important. Yeah. That's really important what you said, to not focus on the disability, your
Yeah,
ability to not do something. That's what
yeah.
that means.
I mean, music is also a form of communication, you know?
I love it. I love it. I would like to have you back another time. We
Okay.
are an hour deep. I have to say this is the longest live I've done,
I'm
but
not
it's so
surprised.
great. But it's so great because so much was said and covered,
Yeah.
and everyone just is inspired by you and loves you, and you have great values. And is there anything else you'd like to share with the
That's good what you
audience?
just said. Value people, value.
Oh,
That's one thing in business, value your customer.
yes.
Value it because they're the ones that are growing your business for you. They're the
Yes.
ones that are doing the sale. They got to convert the sales for you. You can market and do all you want, and all the inspiration you want, but they have to
Mm,
get behind you. They have to say, we are behind you. We believe in you. We believe in your brand. We believe in your product, and we want to see you succeed and grow. So
yeah. To me, networking is building relationships. I believe I'm a great
yeah,
networker. And, I know you're big on building relationships too. do you have any, words of wisdom on how building relationships is really key for your business? Because a lot of people, will send pitches and things of that nature. I don't even know you. I don't trust you. I'm not going to give you a call. I find it to be very insulting and waste of my time for you to reach out to me without saying hello and things of that nature.
Yeah, be authentic. When I reach out to someone, I just be like, "What's happening? Like, how you doing?"
Yeah.
Like, or how do you talk to them about their business? I talked to them as a like last week when you and I talked in person for the very first time. You were telling me what was going on. I didn't even ask you what you did. I was just like, "What's happening with your day?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to. It's the individual. The business is there. That's not going anywhere. And if they want to introduce that to you, then
Mm,
they will. They'll say,
yeah.
By the way, this is what I
Mm,
do." And they might say, "What do you do?" And you'll be like, "Oh, well, I
yeah.
own a graphic design business or this and this." They're like,
Mm.
"Oh, yeah, I
I
do
do
this."
believe that, yeah. I do believe that scarcity thinking, that they feel there's a shortage or a lack and they have to like get this client and get this customer. And it's really not about that. There's unlimited supply. Like there's a great abundance. It's all about your mindset. It would all gravitate towards you. But if you think scarce, like I have to, forcefully build a relationship with this person, I can sense the fakeness. I can sense your
Yeah.
intentions and I won't like you.
I
That's
mean,
me.
even in
I keep it
sales,
real. So
the person just keeps calling you and it's like,
yeah.
I want have you thought about buying the Inspire shirt today? Like, it's really great. I know that you were on the website, but I want to really get you into that shirt, make you feel real good. Uh, you're really not valuing you, just selling me.
Yeah.
And I want you to value me, like who I am, my
Mhm.
emotion, like what
Mhm.
exactly I'm looking for. Like, don't sell me. Like, I know that you're a salesperson, but another way, try to actually show me that you actually care
Care about
about.
what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I just wanted to touch up on this because I do have people reach out to me with Zoom calls, things of that nature. And they ask me what I do. It's on my profile, right? What I do. What is Chai Together? They don't even, it's not where you're coming to me saying, Pratibha, I enjoy Chai Together or I see Chai Together. What is that? It's you just saying, what do you do without even taking a look at my page? It says right there, motivational speaker. Like, here's
Yeah.
my website. And it's like, I can tell you don't care about me. You don't care about what I do. You want to make your profit. You want to make a sale. So you can just go that way.
Sometimes people copy and paste stuff too.
Mm.
And
We're giving the real deal right here with Eric. Copy, it's not individualized. I can tell when you're having a conversation with me, individual and one to one. This is what I majored in school, interpersonal communication. So I know about communication. I can sense it, and I know the approaches, and it's just really incredible when I can sense that you're not real. Yeah.
the, the other, I mean, like, there's times to copy and paste. Like, say when this podcast comes out, there's the link, and I'll say, "Hey, the new show is up. Can you leave some feedback and share for me?" Okay, that I would copy and paste the people that I know, you know, because I just want. That's my intention, is to just let them know that there's a
Mm.
new show. I'm not going to write them individually and be like, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Here's the new show.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna beat around the bush of it. I'm just gonna. That's my. I'm not gonna sugarcoat the intention. This is my intention.
You
I'm,
know,
I'm sending you the link because I wanted you to watch the new show, and if you can share it, that'd be great. That's it.
Eric, I had a few people wish me happy birthday, then send me their pitch right under it. On
I
my
wish you happy
birthday.
birthday early.
Yeah. Here's my
Remember, I was like,
response.
"Happy birthday." You were like,
Here's my response to those people. Okay. It's like, please don't do that. You're wasting your time and you
"Yeah,
automatically just opted yourself out. And another thing is, I don't even know what I was gonna say, but and then there was a few people who reached out to me saying, as if I already knew them or had a conversation with them saying, "I'm so sorry I missed your birthday, da da da." And I'm just like, I don't even know who this is, but I respectfully respond, and I can tell they're grilling me to get to the point of their sale.
oh
You
yeah."
know what I mean? It's very clear. What do you do? What do you like to do? And then sometimes there's a few things, well, I think you should get back to doing this, this, this. But I know I'm on a whole nother topic now, but I really just enjoy
Yeah.
talking. So
No, I mean, I understand. I mean, I
it's
get
about
so many people that are
character.
in my inbox. That's,
Yeah, it's really about
you know,
character and respect, and yeah, just care about people. And when you're focused on the sale, you're focused on profit, not about people, love, and care. You're gonna fail, and you're gonna continue to fail because it's a scarce thinking in your mind, and you won't be a winner. So, but thank you so much, Eric, for tuning
yeah,
in. And
I know, it was
this
awesome.
was a few minutes extra of me chatting about that. So
Everyone's been watching or commenting and stuff, or
yeah, yeah,
sweet.
so cool.
Thanks for commenting. Thanks for listening. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go.
On Eric's behalf, rockstar.
We're here. We're here. We
Here,
did it. This is
here.
live.
Hour 10.
You've been
And
hanging out with us.
yeah. All right. Thanks. Thank you everyone
Peace.
for tuning in. Until next time. Bye.
Peace. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.